Hello guys, so this is day 31 of the daily RC practice series. Do not forget to like it and share it with your friends so that they can also benefit from it. Let's look at this RC. So the first paragraph introduces a research on massive die-off of dolphins and tells us that this research suggests that a bacterial infection in already weakened animals was the ultimate cause of death. Second paragraph tells us that the researchers have identified two factors. The first is toxins released by Alga P. brevis, and the other is the pollutant PCB. Third paragraph explains the author's conclusion or their speculation. So this is a chain of events that researchers believe led to the ultimate death of dolphins. A surge in the population of Alga P. brevis led to rise in toxin levels. Rise in toxin levels accompanied with the pollutant PCB led to compromised immunity, and this compromised immunity made dolphins vulnerable to bacterial infections, which became the ultimate cause of death. In the fourth paragraph, however, author refutes this conclusion, and he says he gives us two evidences to refute the conclusion. He says parallel populations of similar populations of this Alga P. brevis can be found in the Gulf of Mexico, but such dying has never occurred there. Second, the timeline is different. Dolphins started dying off way before the boom in population of this alga. So author proposes an alternative hypothesis, a theory, and he says offshore dumping of this pollutant PCB increased, which led to compromised immunity. This weak immunity then later accompanied with toxins from released from P. brevis led to the death. Bacterial infection may or may not have been involved. Author does not talk about the role of bacterial infections here, though he mentions that toxins could have contributed to this die-off. So this is the basic understanding of the passage. Let's look at the questions now. Question 1. Which of the following correctly describes the chain of events according to the author? Okay. So as discussed in the passage analysis, there are two views, researcher's view and the author's view. The question is about the author's view, which is in the last paragraph. All right. A says the abnormal growth of Alga P. brevis resulted in toxin accumulation. Well, according to the author, this was a secondary factor. The primary factor was a PCB pollutant. So we are looking at options B and D only. Bacterial infection was not the first event in the chain of events. It was not the first event. Abnormal growth of this was also not the first event. Okay. Option B says now an unusual surge in the pollutant stressed dolphins' immune responses. This is correct. And led to high levels of toxin. Well. PCB has not implicated for high levels of toxins. Toxins are released by P. brevis, the alga. So this is factually incorrect. Distortion of facts. Right. And also in option B, more PCB dumped offshore. So these are in two installments, in two tranches, the PCB was dumped is not mentioned in the passage. Okay. An unusual surge in the PCB pollutants triggered stressful immune responses. That is correct. Excessive growth of P. brevis led to accumulation of toxins. That is also correct. Further worsening the condition. Yes. And this compromised immune system probably gave up to a bacterial infection. Okay. Probably gave up to the bacterial infection. Yes, that should be the correct answer. Primary purpose of the passage. All right. Assessing the effects of a devastating bacterial infection. effects are already known, so author is not assessing the effects were deaths. So author is not assessing the death, rather he is assessing the cause behind the death rather than the effect. The cause is being assessed. Pointing out the weaknesses in the research methodology, author does not point out weaknesses in the methodology followed, rather weaknesses in the conclusions obtained or arrived at. Option C, discussing relative effects of various marine pollutants. No, only one pollutant is mentioned, that is PCB. The other one is not a pollutant. Alga has not been called a pollutant really. It's a microorganism causing toxins. In dolphin die off in Atlantic coast. Okay, not really. Advancing possible alternative explanations for the massive dolphin die off. That is exactly what the author does in the last paragraph, though I have objection with this plurality here. Explanations, better is alternative explanation, but among the given answer choices, D, option D is the best. Right. Which of the following is most analogous to the approach taken by the author of the passage with regard to the research described in the third paragraph? So first he describes the research and then he refutes the research. Okay. He primarily refutes the conclusion of this research. So we'll have to find out a parallel. Option A says a physics teacher accepts the data from a student's experiment. That could be parallel to accepting the researcher's data, yes, but questions the student's conclusion. Absolutely correct. Option A seems to be the correct answer. An astronomer provides additional observations. Author has not provided additional observations. He has only altered the conclusions. And to support another astronomer's theory also, no other astronomer uh, is found here, in the sense that no other researcher has been mentioned. So there's no parallel for this. A cook revises a traditional recipe. It's not a traditional recipe. The theory proposed by researchers is not traditional. So this also goes out. A doctor prescribes medication for a patient whose illness was misdiagnosed by another doctor. Now that would imply that author is also a researcher. And we have no evidence to prove that author is a researcher. He merely alters the conclusion by other researchers. He presents his interpretation of the data provided by researchers. So he's not necessarily a researcher himself. So option A, the best answer. Can be inferred that author would most probably agree with one of the following statements about this brevetoxin. Okay, the one released by P. brevis. He would most likely agree with it. Option A, it may have been responsible for the dolphin skin lesions. Author has never said that this brevetoxin is responsible for skin lesions. To the contrary, he says in the passage that the specific effects of brevetoxin on dolphins are unknown, whereas PCB can cause all of these problems, skin lesions, etc. So this is beyond the scope of the passage and slightly contrary to what the passage says. The effects are unknown. Okay. It forms more easily when both P. brevis and synthetic pollutants are present in the environment. Well, such an assertion has never been made that the toxins production increases with brevis and synthetic pollutants both uh, present in the environment. Okay. It damages liver function and immune system. Again, the same problem as in A. The specific effects are not known, so we cannot say author would agree that brevetoxin causes liver function. It is unlikely to have caused the die-off because it was not present in the dolphin's environment when the die-off began. So this talks about the timeline. Such an assertion has been made. Dolphins began dying in June, hundreds of miles north of and some months earlier than the October red tide bloom. This is brevetoxin. This is the origin of brevetoxin. Okay. So dolphins started dying before that. Option D should be the correct answer. He agrees with this. The explanation for the dolphin die-off given by the research team, okay, most strongly supports which one of the following? Let's see. Option A, when a dolphin metabolizes its blubber, the PCBs released may be more dangerous to the dolphin than they were when stored in the blubber. Okay. It is written here, the emaciated appearance of many dolphins indicated that they were metabolizing their blubber reserves, thereby reducing their buoyancy and insulation, as well as releasing stores of previously accumulated synthetic pollutants such as PCB, which further exacerbated their condition. So releasing these toxins, these pollutants, exacerbates or worsens their condition. So option A follows. When a dolphin metabolizes its blubber, the PCBs released may be more dangerous than when they were stored in the blubber. Option B says when P. brevis blooms in an area where it does not usually exist, it is more toxic than in its natural habitat, usual habitat. Such a comparison has never been made. The toxicity has never been compared between Gulf of Mexico and this Atlantic coast. Opportunistic bacterial infection is usually associated with brevetoxins. Again, this association is not given beyond the scope of the passage. The dolphin's emaciated state was probably a symptom of PCB poisoning rather than of brevetoxin, quite the opposite. It was not, the emaciated state was not a symptom of PCB poisoning. Emaciated state only suggests that brevetoxin poisoning had led to metabolism, strong metabolism, increased rates of metabolism, and that led to PCB poisoning. So the relationship explained in the passage goes thus. Okay. Last question. It can be inferred from the passage that opportunistic infection refers to what? All right. A massive opportunistic bacterial infection of already weakened animals. All right. Here also vulnerable to opportunistic bacterial infections. So we'll have to look at all the options now. Option A says infections induced by humans. No role of human has been ascribed here other than the offshore dumping of pollutants, but that is pollutant and it is unrelated to opportunistic infection caused by bacteria. Infections caused by microbes which usually do not cause infections. Right. Understand, uh, because they were already weakened, it led to bacterial infection. Here also, the combined impact of PCB and toxins made the dolphins vulnerable to the opportunistic bacterial infection, which means this bacterial infection does not usually occur, but when the compromised state, animals in compromised state are exposed to such bacteria, it may happen. They become vulnerable to such infections. Option B should be the correct answer. Infections accompanied with toxins, again, no. They're not just accompanied with toxins. It has to do with immunity, compromised immunity, rather than toxins. Infections causing compromised immunity. No. They're caused by compromised immunity rather than causing compromised immunity. So this is reverse cause and effect relationship. Okay. If you like the video, hit the like icon, guys. Keep watching for more. Keep improving. All the best. Cheers to learning.